What's up, everyone? Welcome to the June 28th, 2026 boxing recap, where we talk about Jaron Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas as the main topic, and as a subtopic, Lewis Crocker versus Liam Paro. I'll start with Lewis Crocker, Liam Paro, where we see Liam Paro become the new welterweight champion by dethroning Lewis Crocker via unanimous decision, I think. Let me just get the results up real quick. Liam Paro. Liam Paro won by, unanimous 115-113. I don't think there's really too much to say about this fight, other than Liam Paro, I guess, did box pretty well at the start, behind the jab. And it was decent action by both, but I think Crocker did kind of struggle with Liam Paro's kind of style. Although near the end, it got kind of clinchy, so nothing really much to say about this fight. But I guess Liam Paro is in the mix now with Rolly Romero, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. So if he wants to unify, he could... What's his most likely? I think none of them are really tied into a fight, are they? But I think Ryan Garcia is the most kind of like talked about in a fight for now with Conor Benn for some reason. So I guess that can't work. But if you can't get a unification, currently in the IBF rankings, Paddy Donovan is the mandatory after beating Karen Chukazian. So I guess you could make a defense with Paddy Donovan, a mandatory defense. Oh, true that. There was also like rumors coming up that Teofimo Lopez and Rolly Romero are in talks for a fight. So Rolly might be locked up. So I think the only person that's actually kind of free as a champion is Devin Haney, unless he's going to be locked up with Keyshawn. So I guess the most reasonable thing for Paro is a defense of his titles, because I don't think he's going to move up. He looked kind of small compared to Crocker. So either he stays here in this welterweight division and tries to make some defenses, or he can move back down, because the IBF title's vacant again. So he could try and get the IBF title from the super lightweight division. But the main talking point for this weekend of boxing was definitely Boots Ennis versus let's be respectful, Xander Zayas versus Boots Ennis, where we saw Boots Ennis get the 7th round TKO to become the new unified super welterweight division champion, WBA and WBO. Now, first round, they just went at it. Before the fight, I kind of saw susceptibilities in the defense from Zayas, because his lead hand is usually low when he throws and comes back with it. So he's usually susceptible to a right hand. So I kind of thought Boots would be behind the jab and pot shot with a big right hand. And because of that, I thought he'll come out orthodox, which I did see. But then he quickly switched to southpaw, and that worked wonders, because he caught Zayas with a beautiful left hook, or straight. And then, I don't know if Zayas was really hurt. I'm going to call it more a flash knockdown. But he did knock him down. 1 minute left into the first round. And Zayas, fair play to him, 23 years old, so he's young, but he has the experience he had body language of a champion, because he just calmly stayed, took the count, recovered, and just sort of see it out the rest of the round. But 10-8 for Boots that round. Second round, it was more good work from Boots, but they did trade at one point. in the second round, and I saw Boots looking over to his corner, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what that meant, but I think he did get clean and caught a bit clean. And he looked at his corner for reassurance. It's gotta be my assumption. But other than that, more punches landed and thrown, but nothing too much happened. But the round 3, I think it's going to be one of a good contender for the round of the year, because oh my god, this round was beautiful to watch. They just went at it. Oh my god. And within that round, Zayas had like a good 40 seconds of rocking Boots. Oh my, that was a peach of a left hand or right straight that he just threw at Boots while trading, and Boots' head just rocked back. And at that point, his legs were just gone, and he could not move properly at that point until he had to clinch after that 40 seconds of fucking getting rocked. And then near the end of the round, Boots managed to hurt Zayas, so that round was like a round of 2 halves. But oh my god, that was an unbelievable round to watch. And that was the first round they gave Zayas. So at that point, I had 2 rounds to Boots, 1 round to Zayas. 4th round was just more trading. And I think this round was the hardest round to separate. But I did give it to Boots. But can I understand people that gave it to Zayas? I think I can. But I gave it to Boots personally. And then the 5th round. Oh my god. Once again, trading. And by the way, I don't get why Zayas took this game plan of trying to trade in the pocket with Boots. Because I saw in his fight with Abbas Morale, he tried to trade in the last round and he got pieced up, kind of. So I don't think it was the right plan for Zayas to try and be an inside pressure fighter. He should have done what he usually does, stick the jab, and then use the ring. And he should have took a bit of Chukazian's game plan and be a bit movement heavy and awkward, because that's the kind of style Boots struggles with. But anyways, 5th round, more trading. And at one point, Boots lands a wonderful uppercut that has Zayas laying back on the canvas. And for that rest of the round, Zayas was smart to just circle around, clinch, and just make it a bit dirty. Oh, not a bit dirty, a bit cagey, so he could survive that round. But he almost did not get out of that round, because he got up at 9 in like 9.5. But fair play to him, he did survive that round. But I think he would have been. I wouldn't have been surprised if the ref had stopped, but I would have been disappointed. But I'm glad the ref didn't do that. And then we go to the 6th round. 6th round was probably the most chill round, because I think by that round, both had gassed quite significantly. And of course, Zayas was hurt, so a lot of jousting. But Boots did get some shots off that round. And then here comes the 7th round. In the 7th round, Boots just starts going forwards, teeing off. And then near the end of that round, he puts a combination. And then I think Zayas at that point has taken too much. And then he takes a knee, gets counted to 7, I think, looks at his corner. He nods at the ref and while looking at the corner, I think. And then the ref stops. And once he stops it, Boots becomes a unified WBO and WBA champion. Congratulations to Boots. And a huge shout out and respects to both. Respect to Xander Zayas for taking the fight when he absolutely did not need to. There was so many other fights he could have taken as the unified champion, such as Josh Kelly. But instead he welcomed Boots. And shout out, congratulations to Boots for putting on a spectacular performance. Can I say spectacular? Yeah, sure, spectacular performance. But one thing he needs to watch out for is his defense. He cannot be at this level and continue taking that kind of punishment, because if he goes against someone that has more power than Zayas, Boots will actually be in trouble. So he either needs to sort out his defense or change his game plans against someone that is stronger than Zayas. But congratulations to both. What should be next for both of them? For Zayas, I think I've seen some articles or heard from some people that Zayas weighs like 180 pounds in the ring, which is ridiculous. That is 154 to 180 is a 26-pound water cut, which is ridiculous. So I think Zayas should be wise to move to the middleweight, and if he does, he'll be adding some substance to the middleweight division. And I think he could do it very well to get some titles as well, because the IBF is currently vacant. WBO champion is Yanibek Alam Hanuli, which we don't know what he's doing now since he is banned. WBA is Arislandi Lara, who's 42. And the biggest challenge in the division, I think, is WBC champion Carlos Adames. Whereas for Boots, he's got options now. Since he is the unified champion, he could obviously continue unifying against a Josh Kelly or Fundora. Probably not Josh Kelly, because he's got a fight lined up under the Spence Zoo card, I think. Wait, no. The Joshua Prenga card. And the Fundora, I don't know what's going on with him, so could unify sometime. But of course, the fight, Virgil Ortiz Jr., who is currently the WBC interim. But I don't know if that matters, because Boots and Ortiz has had a rivalry for a while now, since the welterweight division, I think. So I think that's an obvious fight, but I don't really trust that fight to be made that quickly because of the legal battles Virgil Ortiz is through right now. But I will put my hopes in it, and I will hope that Ortiz and Boots get it together. There's, I think, one more fight that was in the Boots card, which was Ben Whittaker against Richard Rivera. And if I'm being completely honest, I did not expect much from this fight. I kind of expected Ben Whittaker to just get him out of there. Because, Richard Rivera, high knockout ratio, against who? I get he got a split decision loss to Badou Jack that could have gone to him, but other than that, what? So I never expected much. But Ben Whittaker's USA debut did not disappoint, I think. I don't think he ever got caught with a flush shot, or really anything. He got a flash knockdown in the first round, I think. And then from that point on, I was like, yeah, it's over. And the second round, very early into the second round. Oh, no, it wasn't a flash knockdown, was it? It was Richard Rivera being in the corner, and then Ben Whittaker comes in with a big right hand to the temple. And then, yeah, Richard Rivera's down. And second round, very early, they both trade. Ben Whittaker intercepts with a counter hook that lands straight clean on the chin of Richard Rivera. And then, oh my god, that stoppage was really, in my opinion, really bad. Because he counted the full 10, I'm pretty sure. He said, can you continue? Richard Rivera was like, yeah. And then he just stopped it. You could have let him go for at least one more knockdown. But the ref didn't give Whittaker the chance to get that knockout, that highlight knockout in the US. But anyways, it doesn't really matter because Ben Whittaker won. Won against an opponent he should have won against. Early, good fashion as well. So I wonder what's up for Ben Whittaker now. He's ranked number 3 in the IBF, number 2 in the WBC, number 13, the WBO. So I guess he can kind of choose his routes. He could have a domestic dust-up, Willie Hutchinson, maybe. Would Joshua Buatsi be too much? Zach Parker? But he's not young. He's moderately young, 30, I think. But I think he should try to get a move on now with his career. Other than that, I don't think there's too much left. So, and there's not much next week, because for Abdullah Mason, he was meant to fight Joe Cordina for his defense, but since Joe Cordina has some visa issues, now Albert Bell is stepping in. And if I'm being honest, I don't know too much about Albert Bell, so I'll just get his box rec up real quick. Albert Bell. I know he was meant to fight Andy Cruz, but Albert Bell, who did he fight? To be honest, I don't recognize anyone. He would have been a good opponent for Andy Cruz, but for Abdullah Mason, I think he should get an easy win. But other than that, I think that's it. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you disagree with anything that I've said. And I'll leave you to it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.